When did everyone give up the search?
Nobody ever gave up the search.
We certainly don't give up. I certainly don't give up.
We as a family continue to look each and every day.
My dad, he continued the search right up until he was diagnosed with cancer. When he was bedbound, he continued his fight over the phone.
You know, we're never going to give up on the search. We're always looking for answers, and it's just become a bit of a mission.
I've done a little bit of scratching around, but my mum and my brother both asked me not to become as involved as what my dad was because they didn't want to see me go down the same road as him.
Like even one of my brothers said, well, do you want to have a little bit of a funeral or a meeting or something around that we can say goodbye or something? He says, and I told him no way.
I wanted everyone to keep caring and to care more and to do more. We were never going to stop looking for Dan.
I'm not going to say goodbye to someone that I don't believe is gone.
But, yeah, I guess in terms of a physical search, the first little while was quite active, and then it sort of slowed down a lot more.
So each day that went by, the 12th day becomes 15, becomes 35.
So the initial search, they stopped it after 18 days, based on the fact that he probably wouldn't have survived in those conditions for that long.
To my knowledge, there's never been a full-on police search because the area that Mum went missing in, if you want something gone, they won't be found.
The media will ask, are you still hopeful of Daniel being returned alive? It's a fair question. It's tough to answer.
Because people want to know how long has he been missing. And when I had to say 2 years, I just expected the person to go like, well, why are you still trying?
If you start putting Paul went missing 7 years ago or something or other, then people say, oh, God, 7 years.
He's obviously not coming back.
I've spoken to some of the detectives that worked on the case, and one of them is no longer a police officer, so he told me his theory. And unfortunately, the area where he thinks she is was wiped out in the bushfires.
I was definitely thinking that every day that he's not returned, the likelihood of being returned alive is less and less. I can remember saying that.
When I saw that there were fires in that area in January on the news, I started crying, and my husband was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "You're never going to find her now."
It pretty much went dormant after my dad passed away. Mum didn't have the strength to pick up where he left off from.
Every now and then I'll post something on missing persons, on his missing persons page, but that's very rare because there's not a lot, it's not a lot to post after a while.
You kind of go from despair to optimism and back to despair.
When I had my own daughter, the parental bond I felt with her and first holding her, it was like a huge wave washed over me, thinking to myself, this is what Mum and Dad were fighting so hard for. And I realised that, I needed to become more involved. I wanted answers.